A few years ago, I quit a six-figure remote job that I actually loved, but I made a few mistakes and I likely did it without considering all the things that could have gone wrong. And in this video, I'm going to share these 7 signs that you're actually ready to quit your job. And it's going to help you along, make sure that you're in the right spot. And if you're not, it's going to be a blueprint to make sure that you have all these things ready before you go ahead and fire your boss. But before we get in there, make sure to hit subscribe if you're interested in learning how to earn from anywhere and to get alerted for new videos every single week. And starting off at number 1 is this sign that you're ready to quit your job is that you have 6 to 12 months of an emergency fund already set aside. This is the foundation. Everything else builds on this. And I'm not talking about some vague, I think I have enough money feeling. I'm talking about you've taken out an actual spreadsheet and done the math. You've put how much your expenses are for every month, and you can use an average over the past 12 months to actually figure this out. There's an app I use all the time called Rocket Money. I basically use Rocket Money, a spreadsheet, and then I also calculate everything over a rolling 12 months because this is going to give you the best anticipation for what actually you spend money on. And then you can create some scenarios like if you have a car accident, flat tires, something goes wrong at your house, you need to come up with some of these scenarios. And basically what you should do is have an optimistic scenario, nothing goes wrong, then have something that's more realistic. Maybe you have a few repairs, maybe 1 or 2 things goes wrong. And then have like a catastrophic, like emergency stuff or health emergencies, cars, on fire. Have those 3 scenarios and figure out like where you're at for your emergency fund. And as you're doing this, like you might also come up with some really good things to cut expenses, subscriptions. And basically what you're doing is if you're not at that 6 to 12 months in savings, you need to go through this every single week and make sure that you're reducing your costs or finding ways to make more income and that you're building up that 6 to 12 months of emergency fund. And so the reason that this is so important is it takes longer to get up and running than you think. Even as somebody who's started multiple businesses, it always takes longer to get your first customers, to get things profitable, and then to keep that momentum going forward. It takes longer. So building up your emergency fund is going to be the most important thing, and just understanding where you're at financially. And it's going to do a few things. It's going to really give you that goal. Once you're at this level, you can move on to the next sign. You've got the 6 to 12 months. And one thing to consider here is if you're single, living alone, you're fine with moving back in with your parents if things hit the fan. That's a different scenario that if you have 3 kids, a mortgage, car payments, paying for your kids' school, that's 2 very different levels and scenarios. So you also need to take into factor what your lifestyle is like. If you're that single 25-year-old who can live at home for the next 5 years, that's completely different than the family man. So make sure you understand where you're at. Sign number 2 is the pain of your 9 to 5 is pushing you to actually take action. And so what does that actually mean? It means that you've actually done something. It's not just an idea to make money online. You've taken some steps and have gotten some results, whether that's a side hustle client, whether it's building a website, but ideally you've taken some action using that pain as fuel to do something. This means working after you come home from your 9 to 5, you're building and creating something. It means sacrificing those weekend getaways, those friends and family meetups, those things that are going to cost you money on the weekends. You're sacrificing something in your life to push this forward. And that is a big signal that it's going to work, because if you quit your 9 to 5, you're not just going to snap your fingers, wake up, and have the motivation to start a business. It's very difficult, and it's a thing that you need to implement while you already have that consistent income. Be building it now. Start building the side hustle while you still have steady income. I've seen this time and time again. People think about their side hustle, they dream about something else, and again, a lot of times the grass is greener on the other side, but more importantly, I think the grass is greener where you water it. So if you aren't watering your side hustle, again, it's not going to change if you leave your day job. You need to start building that foundation and start getting some success. And this is why I've had a lot of luck with helping people validate their ideas a lot faster so they don't waste a year or 2 building something that nobody wants. Validate your idea, and as fast as possible, you should be able to validate it within a few weeks. Sign number 3 is you've actually gotten some results. Somebody has taken out their credit card or given you cash for whatever side hustle it is. It doesn't have to be a business. It can be consulting. It can be doing, mowing people's lawns or landscaping on the weekend. Whatever the case is, somebody has paid you and they've given you positive feedback. Maybe they said they want to refer somebody else. Maybe they've gotten other people to come in. But regardless, they've given you some sort of feedback that, hey, I want to keep using this product or service in the future. And you have some signal that this is actually working. It's something that people actually want to pay for. The problem that I see a lot of people is they ask their friends, their family, whoever, about their business idea. And of course, they're going to give you fairly positive feedback because that's just the nature. People don't want to demotivate you before you've even started. But the thing that needs to differentiate is, did those friends and family actually invest in your product, invest in your company, or actually become your first customer? Because if they haven't yet, it's not really validated. To validate an idea, you need to have an exchange of actual money for whatever you're delivering to them. I typically say that you should have at least 5 people gone through your service, product, or whatever you're selling. Meaning if you're selling a high ticket, coaching program, you should have had 5 people go through your program and had at least 5 people get the transformation or results that you're talking about. So if you're doing a fitness challenge as your side hustle, that means you got them to lose weight, you got them to stay and be a healthy diet, you have collected those testimonials and reviews, and again, you've actually done what you told people you were going to do. You want to have at least 5 of those transformations, and again, have at least 5. Depending on what you're selling, it could be a little bit different. And the reason that this is so important is it means that you're being consistent. You're consistently able to get people those results. And that means you've built a system that you can put more time and effort and money into to keep growing and scaling it.
If you guys like that part, you're gonna love this. I'm giving away my best-selling book for absolutely free, and here's how you can get the audiobook in just a few seconds. Inside this book is the same techniques I've used to work abroad in paradise in more than 100 different countries. And the best part, this strategy hasn't just worked for me, it's helped hundreds of thousands of people earn more, work less, and travel the world. I'll leave a QR code here where you can get the audiobook for free with a free 30-day Audible subscription.
Sign number 4 is if your day job, you're doing something that's actually transferable to making more money as a side hustle. There's a lot of jobs, and I've worked in corporate America before. I didn't do really anything. I was just kind of there taking up space at some point. And I think a lot of people are like that, where their transferable skill doesn't really convert to the real world or the real side hustle. And so you need to make sure that you actually have a skill set that's going to help you build and grow your online business or your side hustle or whatever business you're looking to pursue. Being good at your job and running a business are 2 completely different skill sets. You might be an amazing designer, but running a design business means you need to know how to find clients, manage projects, send invoices, handle contracts, do your taxes, market yourself, and of course, deal with those difficult clients. It's like 8 different jobs in one. And especially with anything in the design realm or art realm, people just naturally aren't that good at selling themselves. So you really struggle with the sales and marketing side of things. So you need to understand that if you don't have a good process for getting clients, it's going to be even harder doing this on your own. That's why I really recommend people trying this out and understanding how difficult it can be to sell yourself and to sell your services. And on the flip side, maybe you're really good at marketing and sales, but you're not good at actually delivering the product. So people get in, you really oversell them, and then they get the fulfillment, and you're so busy with all these sales calls that you kind of negate your customers. And I've seen this happen as well, where they get in, they really expected one thing and got another thing that was way below their expectations, and they get upset, they don't come back, they ask for refunds, and it really isn't a sustainable business model. So having these 2 skill sets, somebody who's good at product, somebody who's good at marketing and sales, are usually not in one person. It's fairly rare. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can actually have a contractor who's good at sales and marketing, or a contractor that's good at the fulfillment, and that can sort of help you out. And this is basically how you start to grow a company. You outsource this job to somebody else, and that's something you really need to understand. And that itself is a skill set, knowing how to hire talent, train them, and deliver that process reliably to a lot more people and customers, and keeping everyone happy as they come through. Sign number 5 is you're ready for sacrifices and you have the structure to make this work. Again, I hinted at this earlier, but there's a lot of different situations from people's personal lives. There's a lot of people that just don't have the structure and bandwidth to do this outside of their 9 to 5 job. And what I'm talking about is if you're a parent, you have 3 kids who are young, you've got a house, you have mortgage, car payments, all this stuff, and you're just super busy. You're already exhausted when you come home from work. The thought of actually spending another 5-6 hours on your side hustle is just not realistic. And again, this situation is very difficult. It doesn't mean it can't work. You just have to find some way to sacrifice things or some sort of structure for your business that's going to be a little bit less time intensive. Meaning maybe you're only able to spend an hour per day on this, but you can still get really good results. So you need to understand where you're at in your stage of your life, what sort of responsibilities you have outside of work that are going to allow you success. Again, running your own business is on average going to require more time and stress to actually make it work. I haven't seen any situation, maybe there's a few outliers, but 99% of people who do this, there is going to be more time, more difficult situations, and there's going to be very high highs and very low lows. And I don't want to scare you out of entrepreneurship. I just want to be brutally honest with you. It takes time, it's stressful, and it's all well worth it in the end if you do succeed, because then you have no ceiling to earning potential. You can choose who and what you work on, and you can do it at your own pace. But again, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes from where you're at now to getting to that level. And most people, to be brutally honest, won't ever make it there. Sign number 6 is that you already have a customer acquisition channel. This means you have one channel that's working to get you new customers. This could be email marketing, LinkedIn outreach, paid ads, just calling people up and cold calling. There's so many ways to get in touch with new customers through marketing. And again, it can also be here on YouTube as well. This is a big reason I got started, was to get in touch and talk to more people who I want to interact. And YouTube has been one of those places where it's been a big customer acquisition channel for me. A lot of people watch the videos and then they want to work with me or they need help getting to the next stage. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'll leave a quick link below. So the framework to make your customer acquisition funnel work and your one channel work is you basically need to know that when I spend $500 on this sort of customer acquisition, I get X amount of leads, and of those leads, a percentage of those close at a sale price of a certain dollar amount. This is basically the formula for success, and that dollar amount for the sales needs to be more than what you're spending on the ads, and it needs to be more than it costs to actually fulfill the services. So it's very simple math, but it's all easier said than done. And the reason it's easier said than done is because running a month of ads, you might be profitable, but month 2, something can change. Maybe your sales rates go down, maybe your ad costs go up, maybe your ad creatives stop performing as well, and you go from being 20% up to being 10%, and then the next month you're 20% down. That's a very realistic scenario. So you need to have a really good customer acquisition channel that you can just add more money or add more time or add more people into it, and it's going to deliver a higher result to you. And so when you have that figured out, it's typically best to maximize that one channel. So a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this myself, I get Facebook ads or Google ads or email marketing working, and then I switch over to something else. And instead of doubling down on what was already working, I just get sidetracked. And this is the worst thing to do. Pick one channel, stick to it, and just make it work. And essentially, whenever you're considering another channel, just double down on it. Have the math equation working, make sure that it's profitable, and just keep doubling down on trying to make it more profitable. Sign number 7, and this was the most surprising thing when I quit my job, was your time is more valuable spent on your side hustle than it is at your day job. And let me explain. Basically, you need to figure out how much money your company is paying you divided by how many hours you're putting in every single week. And this is going to give you a sort of value for the dollar of time or hour you put in to how much you're making. So it'll be, $100 per hour. And then you're going to score that. How brutal is that $100 per hour? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Score it 1 through 10. And then you need to do the same thing for your side hustle. How many hours are you putting in and how much money are you extracting? And basically what you need to understand is if you flip things over, if you spend that 50 hours at your day job and put it towards your side hustle, are you actually going to make a lot more money? And the other variable to consider is you probably have 20 to 30 really deep work hours per week. And the thing that I noticed was when I quit my job, I already already had things up and running. And I was able to just take those deep work hours, trade them from giving them to my company to giving them to myself. And that really blew up my business because those core work hours were going to my businesses, going to my personal brand. And instead of trading that to somebody else, I got all the benefits. And every time I woke up, instead of thinking about my day job, I started thinking about what can I do to grow my businesses, my personal brand. It was the first thought instead of waking up, putting out fires. And this bandwidth in your head really is important because it clears your mind, it clears your focus, and it buys back that really core value of that most important time to put towards something that is going to give you a better ROI. And guys, I just want to say, I hope this inspires you because I don't want people to quit their day job and then have to go back 6-12 months later. There's a sweet spot and I'm sure you can work your way towards it. I hope this was inspirational, and if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll leave another video up here just for you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.